2 weeks, and all I did was fail. This was a bigger punch in the face than getting negative reviews. Hi guys. So it's been a while and I've been trying to really study for the past week on how this all works. And if I'm being entirely honest, it's been eating away at me because I've continued to fail over and over and over and over again at doing this. And in failing at doing this, I feel like that I've failed to get my message out there, and that I've failed to really try and reach the people who I feel like I can help the most. And that failure sucks. It's really eating away at my motivation to do this. I don't want to give up per se, because I want to still provide value to people and I want to help people succeed. But seeing nothing of results and nothing of any input from it, it hurts. And yet, I refuse to quit. Because over the time learning this week, I've been doing more in my courses constantly. And I was like, this cannot be it. There has to be more. There has to be more I can learn in order to make sure that I get this out there. So, I then took it another step forward. And as someone who personally despises AI with a passion, I'm talking about I can't stand ChatGPT. I can't stand that when I see people use AI in schools, when teachers use AI, I cannot stand seeing it because I believe that people do so much better with AI. I reached a point where I was just thinking in my mind and I was like, you know what? Maybe for this one instance, AI won't be so bad. But I did not use AI that I've went and walked through with before, because all of those AIs have been an absolute disaster. Instead, I went to DeepSeek and I talked to him for the very first time, and I was absolutely astonished at the stuff he was saying. At the way that he was talking to me and giving me different tidbits and insights, the way it was telling me how I need to do my color controls and how I can build a good thumbnail and a good title, and the way it was helping me give it and spark different ideas, not telling me this is what you need to do, but giving me different ideas and helping me brainstorm different ways and different fashions to actually improve on what I'm doing instead of making it worse. That helped. And the way that it caused me to actually think and take action have been very useful to what I was doing. So I asked them different questions on, okay, you're a videographer, you are a pro YouTuber, you are this, you are that. Can you tell me how I can fulfill X thing? How can I get better at script writing? How can I get better at thumbnails and titles? How can I get better at pushing my video? How can I get better at actually creating it? What do I need to do to improve? And he gave me so many different avenues and a whole checklist of things. And I was like, that's great, but I don't understand where to start. You see, starting is the hardest part when you're learning a new skill because knowing where to start can push you really, really far ahead. But not knowing where to start can cause you to lag behind for years. And I've done that multiple times with multiple different skills. So I'm praying that this time I can figure that out. So I start writing in Obsidian. I get it for the first time and I'm like, I just need to put all of this on page. So I put it all on the paper, every little thing, every nuance, all of it. But it still isn't fully making sense. So then I switch to watching YouTube videos. And that's when chaos ensued.
Here is a complete DaVinci Resolve tutorial for beginners. This is going to be, so we're going to take you through all the key stuff that you need to know to get results fast.
It'll set you up to fail. And sometimes it's also one that kills your videos. And it's one the same 100% This is why 500 views so unless you're literally
See, when you're watching YouTube videos on how to do good at YouTube, you get different advice from every single person. And every single person has their own take because every single person did different things that work. But when they do these things that work, it really starts to mess with you personally because you don't know what works. So you're taking this route, you're taking that route, and it seemed like I was getting so much conflicting advice that I didn't really have one exact route to go. And so I nearly gave up, in entire honesty. And I was like, screw it. This YouTube thing may not be for me. Making videos may not be for me. I'm just gonna have to throw in the towel. That is until I saw a video from this guy.
About, well, a bunch of random stuff.
And he was very calm, he was very relaxed.
So real quick, this is a high-level overview.
But the way that he delivered the information was entirely useful to everything that I was doing.
Of what you actually just have to do to get out of the small channel hell.
And this guy's name was Bog.
The basics. Most people are in this category. And this here I'm going to call the game. The game that...
Now, Bog's videos are kind of crazy, and honestly, they completely drive me insane with how many sound effects and all this stuff is. But on his second channel, Bog XD, shout out to you, man. He taught me the basics of making videos. Not just the basics, he broke it down for me in 2 different genres. He said, these are your non-negotiables for stuff that you have to do. And this is the stuff you need for when you get those basics down. We have the basics and the game. I wrote all of that down into an Obsidian workbook. And when I wrote all that down into an Obsidian notes workbook, I then broke each of them into different aspects. So for things like, oh, you need to work on making sure you speak clearly, you don't use lingo that people haven't heard before, things like that. You also need to make sure that what you say is heard entirely, you have good grammar, you speak with conviction, you speak excited, because honestly, if you're not excited about the topic, why would you talk about it? Then you also have to make sure you're good at storytelling. You're good at explaining things in a way that is interesting and insightful. And you build this and you build that and you continue to push yourself forward in all these different avenues, whether it be thumbnails, titles, video production, pre-production, script writing, all of this, all of that builds up. And that entirely really fulfilled me and helped me in my journey. So I then said enough's enough. it's time to get to work. So then I went down and I started writing down a script for my next video. And I really took the time, like a whole hour, to really just think about it and make sure that what I produced was going to be something people would watch and would be interesting. And with that, I then went into DaVinci Resolve and I learned. I learned different editing techniques. I learned what L cuts are, what are J cuts. I learned what cross cuts, jump cuts, parallel editing, and I pushed those even further from how I had them the week before, which is amazing. I learned all of this and I built it up, and then I was like, wait, I want to make sure that people see my videos. So I need to make sure that the thumbnail and the title are the most important and best aspects of the video for now. So I sat down and I learned color grading. I won't say I'm great at it yet, but I'm really building it up and trying to understand how does color grading work? How can I make it to where it does more for me and how it improves the photos and not takes away from them. And then this entirely changed my whole process from there forward because now I feel like I have a foundation, I have something to stand on, something that I can actually work with. That is really fulfilling, and it honestly is rebuilding the motivation that I had thought I had lost over this whole time trying to post and get things done. So I want to give a special thanks to you guys, honestly, because without your guys' comments and the gratitude that you had shown me on this channel, I would have completely given up entirely. I'm going to be so for real, and I would have just moved on. Because when you see so much negative, or it's not even the negative, but it's to the point where you're not getting any results at all, it's like, why am I even doing this? But you guys really helped inspire me to keep moving forward, and I want to thank you for that. So, if you guys can, I would love to hear how can I improve these videos moving forward from what you see and what you notice from the content I put out. And I will do everything I can to help push that forward to reach the next level in the skill. And if you really enjoyed the video, please subscribe so you can continue to stay along for the journey and just see what happens because I'm as excited to see it as I hope all of you are. I think that's all for now. See you later.